Okay, year 11, pause the video and play with when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, so the first step, we need to square both sides. So we've got y squared plus 4 over 3 equals x squared. I then multiply both sides by 4. Sorry, I multiply both sides by the denominator, which is 3. So we've got y squared plus 4 equals 3x squared. I'm going to subtract both sides by 4. And then I'm going to finally square root my answer. So I've got y equals the square root of 3x squared minus 4. Now the second question, I want to factorize this. So I've got x plus 4, x plus 3 equals 0. You've got two brackets that multiply to get 0. So one of the brackets must equal 0. So if the left-hand bracket equals 0, x must be negative 4. Or for the second bracket to equal 0, x must be negative 3. So just quickly, that means it crosses at minus 3 or at minus 4. It's a positive quadratic. That looked horrific. Okay, but it crosses at minus 3 or minus 4. It's symmetrical, which is why I rubbed that out, because it should be fairly symmetrical, like so. Now the quadratic formula, if you didn't have a quadratic that factorized, you could use the quadratic formula, and you need to learn this off by heart. So it's minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. 1 1/3 becomes 4/3. 2 1/5 becomes 11/5. You need the same denominator. So the fraction on the left becomes 20 over 15. The fraction on the right becomes 33 over 15, which is 53 over 15, or as a mixed number, 3 and 8/15. Okay, today's title is Histograms, Finding the Mean and the Median. Pause the video, play when you're ready to go through the examples. Okay, so the most important thing for histograms is that you need to remember the frequency in a histogram is represented by the area of the bars. Okay, if you can remember that, histograms should be okay. So on the left, we've got the amount of hours easy air pilots have spent flying. So we've got 0 to 100, 100 to 150, etc. Okay, so histograms don't have the width of the bars being constant. They can change. So you can see the width here is 100, but in the second group, the width is only 50, and so on. Now, what we need to do is we need to have a separate column, which is the frequency density. And that always goes on the y-axis. So the first group is 0 to 100. So my width of my first one is 0 to 100. Now I need the area of the bar to be 24. So to work out the frequency density, you can either play around with it, or you can see that it's going to be the frequency divided by the class width. So for the first one, we want 24. I need to divide that by 100. So 24 divided by 100 is going to give me 0.24. So I've got 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. I'm going to use a ruler. So that is the first bar, and that's got 24 people in it. The second bar, I want it to have a frequency of 21, but the width is only 50. So if I do 21 divided by 50, that gives me a value of 0.42. I'm going to go up to 0.42, but importantly, I need to remember that my width of my bar only goes up to 150 this time. You've got to excuse my poor drawing because I am doing it freehand. You will obviously do it in a ruler. So that frequency is 21. Now the next one, 150 to 200, we need that to be 17. So I'm going to do 17 divided by 50. So I'm going to do 17 divided by 50 because that's the class width, which gives me a value of 0.34. So 0.34 across to 200. And that gives me a frequency of 17. My next one, I need to do 24 divided by 150. The next one is going from 200 to 350 here. So I'm going to do 24 divided by 150, which gives me 0.16. So we've got 0.16 and and that gives me a frequency of 24. And then my final one also has a width of 150, but the frequency is only 9. So 9 divided by 150, 0.06. It's going to be just there, okay? So that one has a frequency of 9. So that's how you draw a histogram. Now it says, estimate the number of Easy Air pilots who have flown under 50 hours. Now the problem here is that we haven't got a group of just under 50 hours. We have got a group that goes from 0 to 100. Now there are 24 pilots that have gone from 0 to 100. So when it says to estimate, well, you should be able to see that if I estimate, I'm just going to have to split the first group in half. So if we had 24 from 0 to 100, the estimation is going to be that we've got 12 that are less than 50, but we are assuming that they're all spread out within that group. Okay, the next one. Can you pause the video, give this a go, and then we'll go through the answer together. Okay, so the first thing, we've got our histogram, but let's work out the frequency. So we've got from 10 to 40 is a width of 30, multiply that by 2. In the first bar, we've got 60. We've then got 10 times 2.5, so that's going to be 25. We've got 20 multiplied by 3.5, which is going to give us 70. And then we've got 20 multiplied by 0.5, which is going to give us 10. So overall, our total frequency, if we add all of these together, I'm going to use a calculator just so that I am less likely to make a mistake. You get 165 in total. Now it says work out how many students took between 50 and 70 seconds. Well, we've already worked that out. That's going to be 70 students. And then it says calculate an estimate of the number of students who took under 30 seconds. Again, we haven't got a group that's less than 30 seconds. What you can see is we have got a group here with 60 people in it. So actually, we could split them up. And what we could do, okay, well, less than 30, we've got 1, 2, 3 bars. So actually, we've got 2/3 of the way into 60. So we can just do 2/3 of 60 and work that out. So our estimation is going to be that there's 40 under 30 seconds. Again, we're assuming that all of the pilots or the groups of students in this example are spread out evenly. So we say, okay, well, we've gone 2/3 of the way into that group. So it's going to be 2/3 of the total number of students in that group, which in this example is 40. Okay, we're going to go through a couple more. Okay, so I'm going to do the one on the left. We'll do the one on the right. So the histogram shows information about the time taken by 140 students to complete a puzzle. So we need to make sure we've got the frequency table filled out. Okay, so we've got 0 to 40, and that has given us a value of 4. So 40 multiplied by 0.1 is going to give us 4. So I know that that value there must be 0.1. So I know that all of these squares are going up in 0.1s. So that has got a frequency of 4. The next one is going to be 20 multiplied by 2.4, which is going to be 48. So we've got 48 people in the next one. We're going to check that we're doing the correct thing. So 10 multiplied by 3.3 is 33. Next one is going to be 10 multiplied by 3.9, which is going to be 39. And then we've got 40 multiplied by 0.4, which is going to give us 60. Now, if we add all of those up together, if we've done it correctly, we should get the value in the question, which is 140 students. So that is correct. Now we need to work out the median. So we've got 140 students. Well, the median, the middle person is going to be the 70th person. So we need to work out where is the 70th person. Well, they're not in the first 4. If you then add 48, that takes us up to 52. So they're not in that group. But then if we add 33, that takes us up to 85. So what we need to do, well, how do I get from 52 up to 70? Well, I need to get an extra 28 places. So what I need to do is I need to get, so it's not in this group, it's not in this group. I need to get an extra 28 places into that group. So let me just write this. So that is 33. This is 39. And this is 16. So we're saying that in the first group it's 52. The next one is 85. I've done that correctly, yeah. But to get from 52 to 70, I don't need to go another 28. That's wrong. That's why I was hesitating. It seemed too much. We need to go an extra 18. So I need to go 18 into this group. Now the group is out of 33. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 18 divided by 33. And then I'm going to multiply that by my width of my group, which is 5.45. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add on to 60 because I'm going a little bit into this group. What fraction am I going into that group? Well, I'm going 18 out of 33. And the width of the group is only 10, which gives me 5.5 seconds. I'm going to add that on to 60. So it's going to be 65.5 seconds to 1 decimal place. Okay, give the question on the right a go, and then we will go through the answers together. Okay, so for this one, let's go through the process again. So we've gone 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So we're going to do 2 times 14. That's going to give me a value of 28. The next one is 2 times 50. That's going to give me a value of 100. 2 multiplied by 90 is 180. I've then got 4 multiplied by 5 is 200. 4 multiplied by 50. And then I've got 8 multiplied by 22, 24. I'm going to check. 8 times 24 is 192. And I'm going to just add those up, and I should get 700. So I've got 28, add 100, add 180, add 200, add 192, and I do get 700. So I'm confident that those frequencies are correct. It then says calculate an estimate of the median. Well, the median is going to be the 350th person. So where is under 350th person? Well, 28 add 100 is 128. Add 180 is 308. So up to here, we've got 308 people. Now to get to 350, I need an extra 42 people. So I'm going to have to go into this group of 200. I need to go in 42 out of 200. And I'm going to multiply that by the width of the group, which is only 4. So if I do that, if I do 42 divided by 200 multiplied by 4, that tells me I need to go in to this group 0.84 kilograms. So an estimate for the median is going to be, well, 14 add 0.84 is going to be 14.84 kilograms. Now the upper quartile, well, if we do 350 divided by 4, that gives me the lower quartile. And then I need to times that by 3 because I want to work out the upper quartile. So the upper quartile is going to be the 262.5th person. Okay, so no, it's not. What have I done here? I've done 350. Now we've got 700 people, haven't we? So bear with me whilst I erase this. So what we can do is I thought that was going to be quite a nasty question to work out. So we can do 700 divided by 4 and then multiply that by 3 to give us the upper quartile, which is going to be the 525th person. So we've got 308 up to here. If I add 200, that person is going to be the 508th person. Now I need to get an extra 17 into this group. So if I do 17 divided by 192 and then multiply it by the class width, which is 8, it's going to tell me how far into that group I need to go. 17 divided by 192 multiplied by the 8 is 0.71 kilograms to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to add that on from my starting point. So it's going to be 18.71 kilograms to 2 decimal places. Okay, these are a couple of questions that I would like you to try. The answers follow afterwards. So pause the video, play when you're ready to check your own answers. Okay, this is a GCSE question. And then here are the answers. Okay, exit tickets to finish. Okay, so we've got 5 times 3, there's 15 there, there's 40 there, there's 10 there, and there's 5 there. So if you add those up, 50, 50, 65, 70, we should have 70 plants. Next one. Okay, so again, if we've got 15, we've then got 40, we've then got 10, and we've then got 5. So we've got 70 plants overall. The median is the 35th plant. So we've got 15, add 40 takes us to 55. So it must be in this group somewhere. To get from 15 to 35, I need to go an extra 20. Well, 20 is half of this group. I need to go halfway into that width. So the long way of doing it is 20 over 40 multiplied by the class width, which is 10. You can see that that's just going to be 5 into this group, which is going to give you an answer of 10. So the median is going to be 10. Okay, and then in this example, we've got 2 multiplied by 3, there's 6 there. We've then got 4 there, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6 there. So in total, our frequency is going to be 16. Now, how many books are between 5 and 7? Well, we've got 3 columns here. Okay, so we've got 3 columns. So if we estimate that they're evenly spread, 5 to 7 is going to be 2/3 of this group. So 2/3 times 6 is going to be 4. So there are 4 books between 5 and 7 centimeters thick. Okay, thanks for listening, and I look forward to teaching you again tomorrow.